Don't be surprised. 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 You knew I was falling when I met you. You knew I was falling when I met you. You knew I was falling when I met you. You knew I was falling when I met you.
Let's go. Mr. Carl Cox is our first.
I'll see you later.
This is cool.
Next up, this is Arty.
Great.
Now, late addition to the panel last night, Carnage. Right. This man, Destructo. Got Borgore. Steve Angello. Welcome. And the Posso ladies. Beautiful Posso ladies. Hello.
Where shall we sit? What's next?
Wow. So, hey, thank you all. Are you all excited?
Yeah.
About EDC?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for doing
Check. Hello. 1, 2. There we go.
So, I was thinking of how to manage, all this. And in terms of format, I really want to go down the line and just talk to each of you first. And then we'll cover some bigger issues facing the scene and the business and your perspectives on that. Because what's interesting to me is as I mentioned in the intro, there's all this activity and all this attention given to the infrastructure around you and what you do and what you're out there creating every day. And that's amazing to me, and also interesting that we cap it all off with our artist panel. So, Steve.
Yes.
I was talking with Eric Prydz.
Yeah.
And he mentioned to me how important it was when he did a remix of your track Voices.
Yes.
At that time, he was doing a lot of high demand remixes. And you sat down with him and you said, I want you to just do your thing. I want you to feel free to express yourself, and whatever it is, if it's good, I'll put that shit out.
Yeah.
And he explained to me how important it was that his friend and his peer gave him that kind of encouragement as an artist, I think he felt like everybody else was trying to bottle him up commercially.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, is it important to encourage the creative people around you?
Absolutely. I think that creativity is everything. I hate when big major labels will come to me and say, hey, we want you to do a remix and we want it to sound like your last record. I never said yes to those remixes, and I never did anything based on an order or a request from anybody. I have always just believed in whatever I was doing, and I didn't really, still today, I don't really care what anybody thinks or says, because in the end of the day, I want to be happy when I'm doing something. And I don't want to feel that way, that I would sit and say, hey, shit, I shouldn't have done this because they asked me to do this and use this or use that. And I think, creativity is everything. And I think if we lose creativity, what do we have?
Talk a little about developing artists through size.
Sure. Same thing there. We've set up an infrastructure where it works really well for young guys. We can sign guys from when they're 15 up to whatever age it is. We have a publishing solution, we have a touring solution, we have a management solution, agency solution. We do everything 360. 100% is allocated into creativity. Same thing there. They have absolutely free hands. They can do whatever they want. If they need help, we're there to help. I can be there to guide them. I'll put them in the studio. I'll make sure that they're in writing camps. We pay for all of that just because we want creativity. And I think it's hard for young guys today that are sitting in their home studios or bedrooms or on laptops and headphones or on a flight somewhere. They see guys like us that have succeeded, and they think that they have to make a record that sounds like that just to break and reach into main stage. But at the same time, creativity took us here. So we can't forget what creativity has actually done and how important it is, because you know, I could go home. If somebody have a laptop here with Logic, I can probably make an okay dance hit song in 4 hours. But that's not going to take me to the next level, and that's not going to take me and create something for the sound of dance music, where we have to be innovative all the time. And I kind of remember that from the early days when we started Size, that I started Size because nobody believed in me. I started Size because nobody wanted to release my records, because nobody wanted me to do remixes, because nobody asked me to come play anywhere. So I started Size. I think I did the first 100 records on Size. I think I was involved in most of them. And then I remember Carl was one of the early guys to support us. The first release, you know, it was one of the first, 2002 or 2003. He picked up one of the techier Steve Angello tracks and played it to death. And that helped us a lot, because all of a sudden it was stamped, qualified. And same thing there, you know. No, we didn't have anybody to tell us what to do, so we were just working, and we didn't, you know, internet wasn't as big as it is today. We didn't have live streams of this caliber when it came to dance music. So we had nobody. If we looked up to somebody, it wasn't to look up. We weren't looking up to somebody to try to recreate what they had done. We looked up to somebody for what kind of way he has paved for himself.
And how big is the company now?
Size. I think we're about 10 in Europe, and I think we're 19 here. And we'll probably be another 20 by the end of the year.
Last question before we move down. Sure. Life for Steve Angello post Swedish House Mafia.
Yeah, I mean, same life, right? Less touring, I guess. I mean, it's good, you know. I've always been a solo artist since I was 16, and I'm 31 today. I've been touring for the past 15 years. So Swedish House Mafia was something amazing that we did, and we came in to do stuff that nobody had ever done. And we came into arenas and stadiums and places that nobody's ever played, just because we had the power to do it. We had a great run. It was fun, you know. I wanted to focus more on Size and building artists. I've never really been focused on myself, you know. I don't really care how I do. I rather care how the young guys are doing, and I want to see everybody happy.
What about your album?
My album's been done. It's been sitting on a shelf for the last 4 months almost. It's a timing thing, you know. I want to time it. It has to be right. It's very, very, very wide. It goes into a lot of subgenres within dance music. Some songs are very rock inspired and indie inspired, but still very electronic. Some songs are down to 100 BPMs, really dark and gritty, and there's a lot of great songs on there.
But you don't have a set release?
No, I'll release it when I feel that the marketing is right, when I feel like I have everything in line, and when everybody's ready to go.
Cool. Borgore, how you doing?
Is this working? Yeah, I can hear myself. Perfect.
It's weird the first 2 minutes.
Yep.
So how are you, man?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Splendid.
Yeah? You know, it's been a year since we saw you here on the stage. You excited about EDC this year?
Super excited.
What's this I hear about a beauty pageant?
No, I was supposed to do a beauty pageant here, but we moved it to New York, Governor's Island. We're going to do a really turned up beauty pageant. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Tell us a little more about that, because I have a feeling it's interesting.
There's going to be like, I guess, 3 levels. There's going to be like probably 50 chicks showing up. Then we're going to do a best raver outfit. Then there's going to be like 20 left, or like 10 left, whatever. And then they're going to do like talent. And there'll be like all different talents, you know. She can twerk, pole dance. If she can sing some of Swedish House Mafia songs, it will be amazing. If she can DJ like Carl Cox, she's a winner. You know, it's going to be turned up. It's going to be good.
So, what do you have in store? Can you divulge what's going to happen this weekend?
What's going to happen this weekend?
Yeah.
I mean, we have EDC playing main stage. I don't know.
I mean,
I love weight on my shoulders.
Are you bringing anything?
I'm doing a pool party. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not that interesting that weekend.
Have you mellowed with age, or what's up?
Huh?
Have you mellowed?
If I what?
Have you mellowed out?
If I mellowed out?
Yeah. Have you mellowed out?
I don't know. If you check my Twitter, I said that if someone's gonna catch me sober the next 4 days, he needs to judge me. But I just landed, so don't judge me yet.
One big thing that happened between EDC last year and now is you went on the road with Aoki.
Correct.
And Waka Flocka.
Correct.
Tell us about that experience.
I think that what I like a lot about Aoki is that he's always open-minded about like bringing different things into his tours. You know, he's always touring. He had Kendrick Lamar and now Pharrell and whatever. So bringing me and Waka was it's always a gamble bringing something that is not you, right? But the mix between Waka Flocka that is a super like party rap and me that I'm super party, not necessarily mainstream, and Aoki worked perfect. Everyone's really nice people. It was just a good environment. A lot of just kids going crazy for 4 or 5 hours.
That must have been such a fun tour.
It's super fun. Plus, I like the fact that I could have gone Waka's set, drum a little, because his drummer was half of the time just drunk somewhere. So you could just go there and drum a little, rap a little, whatever. And then during my set, Waka came and sang on my set, and then both of us went to Steve's set, and both of us sang on Steve's set. It was just a good combination.
I think you guys, you were both on the artist panel last year together.
I was on the artist panel.
Oh, no, actually, Steve was earlier in the day, or he was earlier in the day.
I don't know.
Sorry. Okay, so tell us what's up for the rest of the summer. Any new music?
I have an album coming, 8th of July. It's called New Go Order. It's probably kind of my agenda on EDM, on life in general, in an album. And like Steve said, it's there's a little bit of dubstep that people expect me to do, but there's also big room, and there's also 100 BPM, and it's kind of indie, kind of not indie, kind of everything. And I think there are a lot of people doing it right now, like doing albums that shows that you're not just like. I'm not just like a DJ, you know? I'm actually a musician. I can write songs. Here's an album. I wrote a bunch of songs. Check it. Kind of deal.
Nice, nice. Carl Cox. You are a legend. You are a legend.
This is your life, is it? Someone's going to come out with a book or something. Go, there you go. You're done. Get out.
How does it feel?
I'll tell you what, I've had such an amazing experience of being involved in dance music from a very early age, basically 7, 8 years old. And then going through all the realms of what happened in the 70s, late 70s, 80s, going through all the musical trends of the 80s into the 90s. Where my vocation really came into this music was in 1986, 87, when I've heard the first real acid house record or house music record was a record called Time to Jack by Chippy. And as soon as I heard that record, I'll never look back. I tried to source every single record that ever came out house music-wise and play those records with conviction, even though at the time a lot of people thought I was gay, because the music was so banging and so kind of like, it was fast, and everyone was like, oh, no, it's music like this. I'm like, it's not gay, it's half-assed music, and it still is today, and I love it, you know.
It's also gay.
Yeah. Yeah. Each to their own. But the idea was that the thing is, it wasn't just primarily gay music, it was music that opened the doors for everyone, including yourself, to enjoy. And that was the thing about this music, it's opened itself up for everyone now to come in and do well by it, because the doors are open 1986, 87 by that music, which I still stand by today, which I think is still, you know, where we are right now, we can feel happy, and knowing that we got involved in such a style of music, which is what we made it and not anyone else, really.
You know, one of the things I think has been so key for you is we can all feel how much joy you have, you know, to the music and just doing what you do. We can just feel it emanate from you, And you know, you have one of the brightest smiles in the world.
Get too fucking good that way.
But what do you think is the secret to, you know, having that attitude, a good attitude over time through thick and thin?
I think music kind of gets you through everything in life, and with me, I mean, you know, you've had things happen with your family, things that happen to you primarily with your health and everything else around you, and being involved in this music for so many years, I kind of look to this music, you know, with salvation in some ways. And, you know, I grew up with Tamla Motown music, Polydor, anything that came out from Stevie Wonder, anything like that, you know, no matter what's going on around you, you play any of these records and you just instantly smile and feel good about yourself. And that's what I always wanted to share with everyone else. If I'm feeling this from a record, I want to share it with you. So if I hear any music, doesn't matter what it is, if I'm able to play it and basically share it with you, and then you're smiling, you're having a good time, and then that's the thing that's kept me going every single step of the way.
You know, you, like a few of your peers, Fatboy Slim comes to mind also, have crossed the half-century mark on planet Earth. Could you ever imagine, since this is new territory, really, I mean, in the genre, could you ever imagine not DJing?
I said to myself, oh man, you know, when I get to about 42 or 45, that's too old to be a DJ, man. I'm going to be done by that time. And yeah, still going after all these years. I can't look back. I still love it. I absolutely love it, you know, and with a passion. And I think that's what's kept me going through everything, you know, even to these years when now everything is changing. I still see the positive and still see the good in each genre and in each movement and everything that's going on around. I just cannot switch off. It's not possible.
Well, it's an honor to have you here, sir.
Thank you. Thank
Arty.
you. Thank you.
From a veteran to a relative newcomer, Arty. So I haven't seen you since we went to see Miley Cyrus at Staples.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, it was a good experience. I mean,
we sat in the 4th row for Miley Cyrus. It was amazing. How many drunk girls were out there?
That's totally not true. Nah.
So how are you?
I'm pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm good. You are the first signing for Insomniac Records.
Yes. Yes, I am.
That's kind of exciting.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went through a pretty long way with this deal, and like when you have the album, the first album coming out, and you put like part of your soul into something. Steve knows me. He understands me right now. You want to find the best place to put it out. You want to find the people that will take it personally, that will feel every record that you have on the album, and they will put the soul as well to make it proper, like prepare release, prepare it like artwork, singles, everything to be really involved into make this album not big, but you know, to get this album to the right people. So the right people will hear it and will listen to it and will join that. So I think like Insomniac Records / Interscope, let's say, right? It's the best place for me right now.
I've heard a few things from the album, and I know some remixes you've done, and we actually started the day today with the Above and Beyond guys, who I associate you with as well. I'm sure they're mentors to you in a way. But something that I notice about your music straight away is there's real depth, musical depth to it. Do you have a background, a training in music, like classical training or
yeah,
anything?
I'm classically trained piano player.
You're classically trained, yeah.
He's Russian.
What's that?
He's Russian.
Does that come with the Russian education?
They all are. They're all classically trained.
Either ballerinas.
What is your first instrument then?
What's that?
What's your first instrument of choice? Is it
piano.
Piano, okay.
It was the first and last.
It's the only.
No, I kind of want to learn myself and play guitar, but I still enjoy playing piano sometimes.
So when is the album coming out?
It's coming out fall. It's kind of the same situation with the Steve because you're gonna feel the right moment for the album. I have 2 singles coming out before the album, which will set up the whole thing, and after we will see what's the actual right time. It's probably like somewhere in the fall.
Okay. Well, we are excited to hear more from you, Arty. And you know, just from hanging out a little bit with you, you seem like a great guy, and so want to wish you all the best. Cool.
Thanks, man. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yo, Carnage. What's up, man?
Good. Can you hear me?
Maybe try and move it, you know, a little bit
man,
up.
They gave me the fucked up one, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello? Yo, turn up. Let's do it.
So I don't know about all you, but the first time I heard about Carnage was on the track Incredible with Borgore here.
Yes.
Which is an epic record.
Thank you.
And also, a few things that I've noticed since then is that you have a great reputation. People just love you, man. You seem like the nicest person.
I'm hella nice. I'm like a big ass teddy bear. You want to cuddle me?
I do. Can we go to Chipotle?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I could hook the whole panel up with free burritos. Let's get it.
Sick.
And all y'all too. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Yeah.
So talk about being Carnage. What's that like?
I'm like really attractive. I'm 23 years old. I hang out with a bunch of like people that are not from America. I DJ. I make beats. I'm fat. Yeah, I'm pleasantly plump. I'm just, you know, I just kick it and just hang out and do whatever I want, play whatever I want, and it's all about having a good time. You never know how long you're gonna live for. Feel me?
Yeah.
So, just gotta do you.
If you can't describe your style.
My sound?
Your sound, yeah,
obnoxious.
Your style. Just obnoxious.
It's just loud.
Loud.
I learned a lot from my brother Borgore. It's just, you just gotta, just what you feel, you know, and I'm just a loud person, so I like making loud music and making pretty music too, because I'm very, I like a lot of beautiful things in life. You know?
So are you not interested in any specific genre description? Like, do you resist that?
I mean, I started producing like, I don't know how these guys started producing, but I started producing like 5 years ago, you know? So I was in my grandma's room, next to my grandma's room, making beats for years, you know, in high school, and I would just make beats. I come from making beats. I don't come from making like dance music or making like, making like whatever, you know what I'm saying? I just come from making sounds out of my computer.
So like hip hop tracks?
Yeah, I come from a strong hip hop background and just making, you know, just making stuff with 808s and just rando stuff, you know what I'm saying? But like you wake up every day and you want to make this, and you wake up the next day, you want to make this, and if you can't make this, you like get an idea and you want to make this, and you want to make this. So I just make, good music is good music. So if you make good music, it's just good music, you know? So I just try to make the best possible at all times.
I saw you at Nocturnal, and you killed it.
Thank you.
Do you have any personal highlights of the last, you know, couple of years for you in the live space?
I've only had highlights in 1 year, my last year. So everything. I mean, I played my first festival last year, a year ago, Ultra, last year, and I opened it up 2 p.m. the trap stage. And this year, a year later, I headlined the world stage. So it's every day is just like amazing. I get to hang out with guys I look up to, all these guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like I used to watch YouTube videos of all these guys, you know, and now I'm hanging out with them and hanging out with Arty. We go on dates all the time, and you know, and it's just amazing. It's amazing what can happen if you have a team and a strong friends. And you guys all just put your mind together, you know, and make shit happen.
Cool, man. Destructo. So honestly, with this guy, there should just be an individual panel with you to talk about everything that you've done. But here we are, you know, talking about your art side, artistic side. And so as an artist, and I have no idea how you wear as many hats as you do. I'm sure the crowd knows everything, maybe not everything. But let's talk about Destructo, the artist, and what you have in store. Maybe start with G House. What is G House?
I don't know, you know, I just heard some tracks that I wanted to DJ that had hip hop and house in it, and most of them weren't very good, but there was a couple that were pretty good, so I went in the studio and thought, well, maybe I'll sample some hip hop records over house beats and see what happens. And then I was like, maybe we should just get real rappers in here instead of sampling and see what happens, and somehow hooked up with YG and a lot of like West Coast old school rappers that I look up to that were my heroes, you know, when I was in high school. And they all came in the studio and were like, wow, what is this sound? Because usually, I guess, when they go in the studio, everyone's always trying to make a hit for the radio. And like, you know, I'm just making something to play in the set. And then everybody was into it and got this sound of like house and rap, you know, with like a West Coast kind of flavor to it.
How did the conversation go with these rappers? Did they understand what you were trying to accomplish?
Yeah, well, they're just like, YG was like, what's the song about? You know, like what's going on here? And I was just like, you know, 4 in the morning, we're partying, girls. He's like, oh, I got that. So, you know, and it just, you know, we had a couple guys came in and sang, and like to be in a studio with someone who can really sing and, you know, who's like a musician on a certain level, opened my eyes, because I just, you know, like you, like just beats. You know, I've sat in my room for years and years and made loops that like never went anywhere ever, just looped in my head in my room, you know. So to finally get to this level, it's pretty crazy to work with people that are actually like super talented on that level of playing and singing and stuff like that.
So with G House, I know is just a playful term. It's nothing official, but you know, there's rap, there's a rap aspect, and it's house music. So to describe the music a little further that you're making, it's not like big bangers with drops. It's not electro. It's slower tempo. But describe the sound.
It's like 120, like 122. You know, it kind of starts off a little halftime, and then, you know, it builds. You know, it's got to go somewhere. But I mean, it's kind of weird because I'm realizing like the set, it's kind of, I was using the, it's kind of like this, but I need a couple like that. So, you know, for the festival, like at EDC, you can't just do that. You know, you're going to put people to sleep. So kind of already made some VIPs of the tracks that are doing that. So, you know, I don't know.
Do you think you were able to draw from all your experience and your background doing a lot of different things, from promoting festivals to radio promotions? You have experience in that area. You think you're able to kind of apply those ideas to what you were making in the studio?
I guess. I just think for me personally, I just go on my ear. I think I've got a pretty decent ear over all these years, and I don't really follow any formula. I just say, oh, that sounds cool, or that's whack, or, you know, just, I don't know. I guess it's the whole culmination of everything. But it's not really like a formula. Like I didn't say like, oh, let's formulate this or that. It's just, I don't know, tomorrow we might make, you know, Gabber House. I don't fucking know. You know, I don't know. It's just what I'm I just always want to do something. I think the key to, for me at least, is being a producer is just doing something different. Like I always try to make something different than everyone else is doing. I always try to play something different than everyone else is doing, because I think that's what dance music's about, is being the guy. You know, when we used to DJ back in the day, right? We would go to the record store and just be that guy that had that one record that no one had, and you could be the guy that played that before anyone else played it. And I think that sometimes people forget that, right? Everyone's playing the same thing or trying to do the same thing, and I just want to do something different, and hopefully it works.
So is there not a bigger scene for this particular sound? Or I know that we've talked about artists like Columbo, Shram J, Amine Edge and Dance. These are guys internationally that are doing a slower tempo, you know, sampling hip-hop sounds.
Yeah, there's a whole scene of it, but like I said, most of it's, I mean, there's some really good, but, you know, I think sampling's like you're only going so far sampling. You know, like, what's the point of sampling when there's so many talented singers and rappers and other people you can collab with, like you guys were saying, like getting in the studio with someone who brings that element to it, it just makes it fun. You know, it's like, it's a fun time, and it's cool. Like, sampling's just, I don't know, it's kind of over that.
Yeah. So while we have you, do you guys want to know about hard as well? Yeah? Can you talk about hard?
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about, Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big topic right there. Hard summer is coming up. New location this time.
Yes.
How's everything going? It's looking good, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It just keeps getting bigger, you know. I can't, like, just when you think, like, wow, this thing's big, it gets like double, it just keeps getting bigger. And so for me, I'm just still trying to keep it hard and keep it fresh and just not be the same festival that everybody else does, and just, once again, try to book artists that people might not know about, or give different, you know, what I've learned for this time, we have 5 stages. So one stage can be more like, you know, the big acts, one stage can be bass, one's like underground, one can be like weird stuff, one can be disco. Like, I'm just trying to, like, it's basically like a DJ set of all the DJs. You know, and I just try to mix them all up so you get a big flavor, instead of, like, once again, like, why would you want to go just see the same thing when you can have all this variety? So
I'm trying to remember the lineup. I don't remember the full lineup, but I believe you added some things this year that surprised me. Surprised me because I wouldn't have thought that they met the, you know, the hard sort of seal of approval. You'll have to tell me if there's one that I just feel like you added a big name. Was there any concern doing that it would change people's perception of the brand?
No, because I feel like there's 5 stages, and we did consciously add 4 or 5 acts that we normally wouldn't have booked, but we have a much larger venue, and also we want to give all the styles of music. But I thought, you know what, if somebody doesn't want to come to the festival because there's 2 DJs that are like massive on there, then don't fucking come. You know what I mean? There's 4 other stages. You can still see Columbo, and you can see Cashmere Cat, and you can see, you know, ASAP Mob, and then, you know, if you want to see Tiesto, you can see Tiesto. Like, well, Tiesto's awesome, you know, why not have the dude on the festival, you know? If anyone's going to be pissed because of that, then what's your problem? For a minute there, though, I was like, is that the right thing to do? But it's like, you know, guy's a legend. Right. Put him on.
Holy Ship, before we move on, Holy Ship, what's the plan for next year?
We're doing one in January, one in Feb. So they sold out, and I'm just finishing the lineup, like certain people. I want to be on Feb, no, but all my friends are on January. No, I want to be on January, but no, I want to be, and like, it's like, dude, like, so.
You kind of led the charge on the cruise thing. Now everybody does that.
You're the first captain.
Yeah, well, you know, it's good, it's flattering, you know, I mean, it's hard to do a cruise and be successful. I mean, you know, Coachella did their cruise, and
yeah.
You know, they didn't do it again, and it's just, it's hard to get people to come for 4 days and, you know, give that much time to you for your festival. I mean, when they're in the bathroom, I get to program the music they're hearing when they're going to the bathroom. You know, on the TV in your room, I get to program, like, it's so much different than a festival, because you have them captive. They can't leave. You know, so, like, you know, we got A-Track doing DJ lessons. We got, you know, Aoki did a poker tournament. You know, just you guys are going to come. They want to play piano. There's a piano in the lobby. You know, whatever. You know, there's just so many more things you can do than just come and rage for 8 hours and leave.
It's true. Before we move on, I want to ask you. There are so many artists that have developed, grown through your festivals. Is there any artist that jumps out for you as just you feel personally proudest of being a part of their evolution? Because we go all the way back to the beginning of Hard, that show, the very first one, which was a total shit show, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
That thing was a mess.
Yeah.
But it had, tell me the lineup. It was Justice,
Peaches, Aoki, A-Track, Busy P, Whitey, you,
yeah.
Kool-Aid, me,
yeah.
Were you guys there?
Not yet.
Gina Turner.
We're in the crowd.
Louisa. I mean, it was kind of like, it's weird. I look at that lineup and there's people on it. Trouble Andrew, like there's just people on it that were like, they all ended up doing something. It was just weird how we all,
if you could pick one out, is there anyone you feel special?
I mean, there's so many. I mean, maybe I'd say one that comes to mind would be Gesaffelstein, just because, you know, I just remember when he was at customs and they wouldn't let him in because the paperwork wasn't right, and the customs agent called me and I just begged that, you know, Caspa broke his leg so he wasn't coming. And I said, no, I got this guy coming from Paris, and if he doesn't come, like, it's going to ruin our show. It's not going to make any money. Like, please let him in. Like, I want this guy to be here so bad. And like, I was like, I've sent people back for so much more. You sound like a good guy. I checked you out. Like, it's legit. And they let Mike in. And, you know, he was on at 1 in the afternoon, and people are like, what is this? And he just keeps, like, building. And it's just this weird, like, to me, he sounds like 91, like Joey Beltram techno, but done, like, in this kind of new way. And he's like, you know, he only listens to classical music, you know, like, he's not even into electronic music, but he has his, like, thing. And I'm pretty proud of that. But there's been tons, man. I mean,
You think they appreciate you?
Well, I know Mike does, 'cause I got him in the country. But, you know, I think they do. I think sometimes they do and they don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's been so many moments with lots of people. I mean, Deadmau5 had a moment, and, you know, we've had Calvin in the beginning, and, I mean, Sonny. You know, I don't know. I don't know how it all happened. I'm just happy. You know, I'm just happy to be a part of it all. But, you know, there's so many other things, too, that have gone in all those people's careers. But I guess we've definitely touched a lot in LA.
Well, thanks for all the great memories, man. You know, personally.
You too, man.
Remember AM at Halloween, just as Daft Punk?
Yeah, well, that was really one of the big ones, because AM, you know, I didn't expect AM to get such a big crowd, but he wore Thomas Bangalter's outfit and played all Daft Punk songs. Everyone thought Daft Punk was there, and the fire department was like, what the hell's going on? Like, why is everyone here? Because I was supposed to be spread out for Justice and Boys Noise. And then when he was done, Deadmau5 went on. He played Ghosts and Stuff for the first time at that party, and then the room was already so swollen from, and I didn't even think Deadmau5 would have that big of a crowd. And he did this whole thing where he choked Duda like he was like a fake Deadmau5, and it just, I don't know, it was just weird. It's crazy.
You know, it's funny, just the last couple of days, we hear from so many people in the business, and I don't feel like they really understand. They're not from the scene, you know what I mean? Like, this is the music scene. And I get this sense, like, through the last couple of days, there's so many people that they don't really know. It's not even where they're coming from. Anyway, sorry.
Keeping it real. Well, also big thank you to Jason Bentley for keeping it going since the beginning. So
I try.
He's an artist as well.
I try. Thank you. Posso, ladies.
What's
Vanessa,
up?
Mary Louise.
Hello.
So, wow, you're female.
We are?
I just noticed. I want to get to that. We were running a video loop earlier from highlights of EDMBiz. And it flashes on you two DJing here at our first EDMBiz in the lobby. And it's hilarious because you look like the most innocent, naive girls next door.
What happened? What do we look like now? What, huh? We're just blonde. We're just blonde.
No, but you've since then, you've traveled the world. You've come a long way. And I just want to ask you a little bit about that, because it just visibly, looking at you then and now, it's 3 short years. Give us a little perspective on your experience being out there DJing.
Well, I think since then we've definitely defined and refined who we are and what we want to say with the music that we're about to put out and the music that we're playing to people. So that's definitely something that we've been focusing on since then.
And that's just a process that you need to go through.
Yeah, that's just part of the creative process.
Yeah, I think, I mean, in December we locked ourselves away for 2 months and we stopped traveling and touring, and we were like, okay, let's sit down at the piano, let's write music, and let's figure out what the hell we want to say. I mean, that was the biggest part for us, so we're beyond excited to release the music.
Well, what is the sound? Describe it as you've come from DJing to writing and producing your own stuff.
Yeah, well, we've been DJs for a long time, since 2008, 2009, and we've been making music since then, but nothing ever really stuck for, you know, I mean, we were lost for a while, you know, so it's cool to finally be at the place where, yeah, we know what we're doing and we know what sounds we want, and, you know, we come from like a rock, Led Zeppelin, Wanda Jackson, blues artists. I mean, we're very much into that. So we'd like to infuse a lot of that. But most importantly, for us, what we feel like is kind of missing in the scene is like real writing from real perspectives. And I think like Madonna and Lady Gaga touch on that from a personal perspective, and that's kind of why people are drawn to them. And for us, we're kind of like, where's that personal experience, you know, from these artists or from writers in general? So that's kind of what we're interested in bringing to the scene.
Well,
you know?
and for us, we're going to be performing live, as we're not just DJs performing, you know, tracks that we made with someone else singing it and someone else wrote the top line, da-da-da. You know, we're performing it. So it has to be authentic.
And singing as well.
Singing, yeah.
And so is it more a pop sound of dance music?
Oh, it's hooky.
It's hooky.
We like it hooky, but yeah, we want it to be real, we want it to be authentic. It's like, you know, it's about all the bullshit dudes we've dated. It's about us hanging out with our friends, making dinner, and them talking shit about the dudes they've dated, or just in the perspective that you have, like, living. And we want to bring that kind of reality to the scene, hopefully. Yeah, make it fun.
So I didn't really want to ask you about, you know, what's it like being female and DJing? Because you've probably been asked that a fucking million times. And in my mind, there's probably advantages and disadvantages, kind of just like anything, actually. And I'd rather see you on a level playing field, that it's not even something that we talk about someday.
Well, eventually it won't be something that we talk about. Eventually. That won't be a subject, you know?
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
But it's just the beginning.
But, you know, give us your perspective. I mean, do you find that it's more of a challenge for you to be taken seriously, or are there advantages because you can put your brand out there in other areas that males can't, like maybe fashion or?
Yeah, I think there definitely are advantages to it. There has been, I mean, definitely in the beginning, there were struggles to be taken seriously, and I think that, you know, even sometimes still, I don't want to complain because my life is great and what we do is great, but sometimes people don't let us in the DJ booth when we're getting to a gig, and that's just kind of ridiculous.
They think
we're like groupies or dancers or something.
But it's gotten way better. It used to be way worse. I mean, and you know, that comes from other girls being DJs and doing it and working hard and, you know, living and breathing the business. I mean, that all has changed, especially when you say like the past year or two, so many girls open for us that are amazing, you know?
Yeah, and they're all producing now. It's the younger generation that's grown up in it. You know, it's not weird to be a girl DJ. It just is.
Do you think you have to be that much better, you know, just because it's like the scrutiny?
No, I don't think that there should be competition among girl DJs. I think I mean, these are all guy DJs. They all are offering great things on their own.
There's lots of competition here, believe me.
Well, but...
No, I mean, there's not competition amongst these gentlemen. There shouldn't be competition amongst
Well, I think she means there's
artists.
crews of... Okay, the thing about the girl DJ thing is there is like some weird competition for no reason. It's like there isn't one girl DJ spot. Like, it's okay. Like, you know, someone said to us like, oh, yeah, as a joke, like, I'd like to see you and Nervo get in a fight. And it's like,
I don't want to fight them.
They're really tight. Like, they're fucking awesome. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, what is this perception about, like, there has to be one
just like
girl
there's
act?
like, yeah, one position. It's filled right now, and we have to like...
All right.
Why is female DJs always pairs?
What's that?
It's like when you go to the toilet, you cannot go alone.
One of us has to like fight off the douchebag.
So are you looking forward to EDC this weekend? What stage are you playing?
Stage 7.
Stage 7.
2 a.m. tomorrow night.
2 a.m.
Yeah, we're actually going to be performing a few of our new tracks that have never been heard, and we're going to be singing them live. So
cool. All right. That's Posso. Okay, so I have no concept of time. I don't know if it's been like 3 hours or 30 minutes, but I wanted to hit the group now with some general questions, and everybody just feel free to chime in if you have an opinion. So first of all, EDM, the term, do you buy it?
I buy electronic dance music.
I mean, it's just a word. Is it useful? Is it serving the culture?
It's easy.
It's easy.
Yep. Are you going to start explaining? Oh, make 140 BPM, bass, whatever. No, EDM.
Yeah. Do you openly describe your own music that way? I make EDM.
No.
Is that what you?
I say dance music.
No way.
What?
No, it's electronic dance music is definitely not EDM. It's a better word.
Well, it's just something I'm trying to work out, because over the last 2 days I've been hearing a lot of people who have their sort of misgivings about it. Like, I don't know how I feel about this term. Does it really work? I mean, is it as applicable as hip hop? You know, no one had reservations about hip hop. People are like, yeah, I'm a hip hop dancer. Yeah, I'm a hip hop photographer. Yeah, I'm indie hip hop. I'm commercial hip hop. It was all hip hop. People would say, I'm down with hip hop.
I think it's partially because dance music is so subgenred. And we have so much, you know, there's a lot of people that doesn't want to be involved in the same kind of sentence as other artists because their sound is different from it, you know.
You want to stand apart from that?
Yeah, I guess that's the way, you know, like the way I grew up listening to techno in Sweden. You know, I grew up with Carl Ekebusch and Adam Beyer and all those guys. And then, you know, we started doing main room house or whatever it was called. And then, you know, we move on and become EDM. And then when I talk to the techno guys, they don't want to be EDM, you know. They're still doing techno, so they don't want to be associated with EDM.
I always say techno, like, just because it was made with technology. You know, Kraftwerk's techno, you know, Two Live Crew is techno. It's just, to me, it's like techno. I know Carl probably thinks it's something different, but I always, that's my thing.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, Carl, you know, what's your thought on EDM? Does that work for you, or is
I don't know why it's come down to me.
We're looking for your wisdom here.
My wisdom.
This is your fault.
It's my fault. Yes. At the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, I've always played electronic dance music. Call it EDM, call it what you like. It all depends what you like. It doesn't matter what stamp you put on it. At the end of the day, if it moves you and it grooves you and it makes you feel happy, great. You know, I mean, in America, you've got to put something on it, and if it means EDM and you sell EDM to the masses, then that's what it is. In the end of the day, there has to be some sort of reasoning for understanding the terminology. I mean, you said it very well. Techno is made by, you know, it's got technology. Techno music, technology. Thing is, nothing moves unless you move it. So the drum machine's not going to play itself. And everything else to do with electronic music is not going to play itself. You still have to have somebody human behind it. But in the end, it's something which is great, I think. I think EDM is fantastic because it's now opened the doors for everyone to understand that this music was already good to begin with, and it's great to where it is now today. So for me, I've got no problem with it at all.
The artist as, the artist as brand. You know, today it seems like the pressure on you guys is to write, to produce, to promote, to market, to, in your case, it's extreme. Yes. That everything that you're doing, you've created a whole economy around your creativity. Yes. Yeah. So, tell us about that pressure. Is that healthy? You know, or should you just be left to being, you know, a writer?
Yes and no. It kind of depends on how much you want to grow. as a brand, you know. The more work you put in, the harder you work for it, obviously the bigger it's going to get. So it kind of depends, you know. I could be extreme in some cases where we need to do marketing. I start with 3 guys running marketing with me. That's now 20 people creative agency that does advertising for the biggest companies in the world. You know, and then, you know, we were extreme with, we're doing our own shows, so we started our own vodka brand, you know. We started our own ticketing service. We started our own everything, you know. But I think that's kind of because I just got bored. I just get bored of not having something new to get involved with, or not having something new to evolve with, or innovate, you know. And
isn't it enough though to just write a great song?
Not for me. Not for me. No. I think that's just the way I am. You know, everybody's different. I like to have shitloads of stuff on my plate. I like to have my hands in everything that I do, and you know, I'm self-managed. I don't have a manager. We run all the young guys ourselves. I just like to have a lot of stuff on my plate and just have fun, because in the end of the day, nobody's going to ever care about your career more than yourself. And I know exactly what I want, so why wouldn't I do it?
Well, Arty, over to you on this. Do you, as an artist that's really still coming up and emerging, do you feel pressure to kind of be this 360 animal, you know, just catering to every aspect of it?
Well, I have a strong opinion about that, and in the end of the day, you're the person who stands behind the music that you do, and there is no better person that will take care about it than you. So I think it's definitely up to artists. Like, everybody's different. Everybody have different opinion about that. Somebody just gives the music for free on the SoundCloud, like Mazzo, for example. He probably really tired of just like going to the label and like, yo guys, here's the track on SoundCloud. That's done. But if you want to do more, like Steve, for example, you know how Steve, like how much he does for that. Almost everything, right?
Huh?
Yeah, everything. You do everything for yourself, and that's the one way to do the things. I still trying to focus on develop myself as an artist in terms of like production skills. So I will let the other guys do some part of the job, but like in the next 5 years, I wanna do more than I'm doing right now in terms of like around the music production, around the writing, and around the creating the music. That's pretty exciting.
You know, I was in Miami during Ultra and Winter Music recently, and at my hotel, it just happened to be where a lot of other artists were staying. And it was interesting to see in the morning all these breakfast meetings with all of these, you know, like A-Track and his like little crew, and then like Diplo and his little crew. And it really drove home like these different collectives that were working on the brand, you know. And so Carnage, I wonder, for you, do you feel a pressure to kind of surround yourself with a crew where people serve different purposes and are really, really good at what they do?
I mean, everybody knows I travel in a crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have. I have like a weird. Like looking at on the whole like crew thing. You know, seeing. All these guys, you know, you have size, you know, all these guys, it's like, it's fucking cliques. You know, there's cliques, you know, and there's people in the clique that do their job. You know, you have Matt Decent, you have all these guys like Fool's Gold, and there's kids, you know, the interns that work at the offices, you know, and they make these memes and these GIFs, and these guys who like, they service it out to all these guys' Facebook, these DJs' Facebook pages, and there's like guys who work on the Instagrams, you know, there's guys who work on the Facebooks, on the Twitters, you know, and you're as strong as your music and your family is, your crew is, you know what I'm saying? So if you have a strong ass fucking crew, you're unstoppable. You know, if you have a fucking amazing agent, amazing manager, amazing, you know, person who's dealing with all your artistic stuff, you know, and social networks, and there's people who do their own social networks, you know what I'm saying? It really depends on how strong and how strong your crew is. And nowadays, it's like, it's your brand is like one of the top things you look at DJs nowadays, which I'm new to this, so I really don't, I come into the world, the DJ world, where it's all about music and the brand,
Do you are you the kind of person that just wants to focus on your music, or do you want to do everything like how Steve is?
I look up to Steve. Steve fucking is a monster. He controls everything. He has an input in everything, and I get in trouble a lot with my manager and agents because I like to have my input on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, when's this gonna get posted? Why is this flyer like that? Why is he playing above me? Who's playing before me? It's, these conversations that all these DJs have that they don't really speak about, But there's these, it's a really deep conversation that this can get into, like really deep, and every artist is different, you know what I'm saying? But, damn. It's just, make amazing products.
Yeah.
Sell your product. My product is burritos. It depends on every artist. Every artist is different. And
did you say your product is a burrito?
Yeah, my crew is based off a Mexican burrito. Holla at me.
Okay. Fans. I want to talk about fans, which obviously drives all this. And that's part of being active with your brands and connecting with people. Gary, over to you. Being on Holy Ship, I see the ridiculous response from people enthusiastic about the festival and enthusiastic about you. I think when I first saw, how people make those large blow-up heads and hold a cardboard head, and when I saw it was GR with the cardboard head, I knew that things had just gone ballistic. But what have you seen with fans, and how do you kind of keep nurturing that passion that they have for what you do?
Well, for me, I can't believe I actually have fans. So I'm so elated that someone cares about what I'm doing musically, and just, I struggled so long to get this thing going. And I learned from bands that I used to manage back in the day, you get in the van, you go play, and then at the end of the show, you go hang out with the people that came to the show. You're in Iowa, what are you gonna do? You go back to their house and you party and you hang out, and those are your homies. You do it one by one, and when I started DJing and when Hard started, I put myself at the bottom and I just started playing a little bit, and someone would hit me up like, your set was cool, or put out a track, that track was cool. I hit them back. Thanks, man, that means a lot to me, and I'm just elated that they like what I'm doing. And I don't know, I think everyone else would do that too, but I guess some people are too big to do that. I feel like I'm more for DJ of the people, these people are like, hey, come play at my house. Cool, I go play at their house, and they're blown away. They're like, I can't believe you're in my basement right now playing this, and then they tell their friends, and everyone's just stoked. And
what's the most ridiculous thing that a fan has done to go see you, to be at Hard, to kind of celebrate that connection to what you're doing?
I don't know. I don't really think any of it's ridiculous. I think it's it's hard. I can't believe, I've had people that go, it's like they're flying around the country with where I'm going, and I don't even know how that happened. I'm just thankful for it, and it just seems like it's just taking on a life of its own, which, I've always, I've been DJing since 1991, and I think people, I think people probably didn't really start paying attention to me as a DJ or producer till maybe 2 years ago or 3 years. So I had about, 18 years of trying to get it going. Now it's going. So, and also too, I think part of it too, though, the reason why they're so into it, I think they do know my history, and they know why I do what I do, and I don't need to do any of this. I do it because I love to do it. I'm at someone's house at 4 in the morning because I'm just like them. I love the music, and it's different for me than I think. I don't look at it as this big business, I gotta have a hit, and I gotta be on the main stage, and like I'm just an average person partying with, you know, like I just love doing it, and it's connecting. I don't know.
Borgore, what's the most outrageous thing that a fan has done to get your attention?
I don't know what's outrageous anymore at this point. Like it's been pretty crazy. If you go on my Twitter, you can see it's a lot of naked pictures. But the way, like you asking about fans, the way I see my fans is like they're my friends. Because when I'm home bored, I'm just tweeting and they're tweeting me back, and we laugh at the same jokes, and we like the same memes, and we just communicate. It's good times.
Steve, you got any fan stories? You must have stalkers. And
from
all
my
that.
boy band times? Or? There's a lot of, but it's nice, you know, it's a nice thing. You know, we see people travel all over the world, and it's, I wouldn't say that it's something that's crazy. I mean, I see crazier things on TV, you know, but I really appreciate my fans, you know. And
are you active with social networking?
Yeah.
Probably not as much as Borgore on Twitter, though.
Probably.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Twitter is fun, though. If you had my Twitter, you would have been on Twitter all day, too.
Yeah. You know, I think it's just good to see that the fans are there, and that we have fans that are really going in deep, you know. I saw some stuff on the Swedish House Mafia tour that was kind of Justin Bieber-y, kind of. But at the same time, you know, for them, it's they look up to us so much, and it's how they react, you know. I haven't had a crazy person that has done something really awkward, but...
You have not?
No,
you have?
I mean, I get sent weird shit.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Like what?
Like pictures of me and a girl, and like 100 pictures of babies, and they're like, this is us in the future and stuff, you know. But you know, that happened to me once, and the scary thing was they actually reached my house. So I was really, it was creepy. I have kids, you know, it's kind of weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, other than that, it's happened a couple of weird things, but other than that, it's all love, you know. We love our fans.
It's all love.
They've made us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, last question before we go to the audience, and thank you all for your patience. I do not know how we're doing on time. John, how much time do we have?
Forever.
Forever, okay. Perfect. Last question is, where do you think all of this is going? You know, if you could look into the crystal ball, either the sound, like what's exciting you in the future of music, or the scene, because there's a lot of talk about, oh, there's a bubble, it's not going to be as big, it's like disco, it's going to blow out.
Yeah.
So either the industry side, where is it going, or tell us like where the future of music is going.
I personally think that this is a great space for dance. This is a great time for dance music. You know, we can play anywhere in the world, and people appreciate it. I think that the only thing that's, for us to be able to contain this, I think the bubble would burst, or if we're in a bubble, I don't know, but the scene would disrupt a little bit if we all kept doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. If we're innovative, if we're moving, growing, developing, evolving, if we're creative, I think this can last forever. But if we stop being creative, we're fucked.
Yeah. Borgore, can you predict the future?
I mean, all genres die. Like, you know, no one dances to Baroque music anymore. But if you're going to be great like Bach, you're going to stay forever. You get me? So just, I don't know, work on your own shit.
Carl, I want to save you, Carl, because you're just gonna put a bow right on top of this. I have a feeling. So let's go to Arty. Arty, what's exciting you most going forward? Is there a sound, or what are your observations on the scene?
You don't know, because if you will see at the last 2-3 years how fast the scene was developed in like completely different directions. We had a dubstep, we had a trap, and now we have a curation deep house music that became from from the ashes, basically, from early 2000s and of 90s. And you actually never know what will be the next big thing, but that's what I think makes electronic music is excitement. Like, it's really excited because the music can go different directions, but what should really keep the feeling going is just to love to make this music. And as long as the producers keep the feeling of love while making the music, that's what will lead us to the new genres and the new great records. That's what I think.
Well said. Carnage, predict the future for us.
Burritos.
Burritos.
Hey.
Yeah, no. I think what I see coming in the future, real people. You know, it's there's a lot of fake ass motherfuckers in every industry. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not real. There's a lot of DJs out there that are fucking robots. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see those type of guys living for a long time. You know, it's real people. It's real people with real that have minds that they speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like just, you know what I'm saying? Like people who are just fucking true, just real ass people. So I think people who are like that, and I think the honest, you know, musicians and DJs or whatever, I think those are the people who are gonna last long, who are gonna keep this evolvement of music keep going, other than all these other whack ass people.
Yeah, and burritos. Gary, how about you? Could be a sound, or where's the business going?
Well, talked a little about. I'm just trying to bring some hip hop into my mix for me personally. But I think where it's going, you know, I think for a while there I was always like, wow, this can't be true. We double in size every year. But now I've realized, you know, when I used to have my label back in the day, I remember as I was trying to get the label in like 1997, and I'd go into the Jimmy Iovine's office and be like, in the year 2000, you know, people are going to use a sampler and a computer to like change how music's made. And that finally happened. And I think, you know, if you're a 12-year-old kid or a 14-year-old kid right now and you want to be in a band, or you're on your computer making music, you're probably not just sitting there banging the drums. I mean, I'm sure there's some of them that are, but that sound, it finally like crossed over. And like, I mean, like, I have a son, he's 5, his favorite song is Animals, Martin Garrix. Like he's like, play that song every time we get in the car. You know, that's how I wanted to hear Kiss, you know, and the sound is just, it's just everywhere. So, I mean, there's just so many kids that can't even go to hard yet, that haven't even come in yet, you know? So I think as long as we all do our job, make quality music and hold the standard high and not let it become too whatever, you know, it's just gonna keep growing, you know? I mean, why would it stop?
Yeah, keep growing. Posso, your thoughts on the future?
I kind of feel like a big part of the integrity of the scene is listening to the fans and actually knowing, like, I guess we're calling them the millennials this year, knowing what they're listening to. And I think the coolest thing about the 25 and unders is they're not like how, you know, when people grew up old school, it's like, I listen to hip hop, I listen to rock, like this is my genre. I think a lot of those people just know all about music. You know, they're into, and that's why I think Gary's festivals were always my favorite, you know, from the get-go. It was like, cool, like, this hard music is what I like. In my, if you look at my laptop, that's what's there. It's like, it's Skrillex, it's like, the Thor dudes, or the Gorgon City, you know, like, kind of all these people that are coming up, and Gary books them. And so you kind of have this, like, he knows what's cool, and he's listening to what people want in all genres. So I feel like
there's more open-mindedness.
Yeah, people like that. If you're following what's cool, and you have people throwing festivals that know that, then that kind of keeps it moving forward, you know, in like an organic way.
Yeah. All right, Carl. No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure, Mr. Legend.
Thanks, man.
But what do you see going forward here for this scene or a sound?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been DJing for 37 years, maybe 38 years, and been very much involved in electronic dance music since 86, 87, playing the music that I'm still playing now today. I've seen a lot of DJs come and go. I've seen a lot of producers come and go. I've seen a lot of events come and go. But I can tell you one thing for sure right now, it's the best it's ever been. And it's just going to continue much stronger and much harder, much faster from this point on and for the next 20 years.
All right.
Yeah.
So I see we have a line of questions. John, you want to take it away?
Yeah, I didn't invite a line. It just kind of came up. And Carl, that's great news for those of us at Insomniac in particular, I gotta say. So ground rule, short question, or I'm taking the mic right out of your mouth.
What's going on? My name's Ollie. I'm from Santa Cruz, California. I'm a DJ producer. My question is for Steve, Angelo. What makes you distinguish an artist in the sense of signing them to the size team rather than you just signing their single? So people like Third Party or Waynes and Woods, what was the deciding factor for you to sign them onto the team and spend time with them rather than just sign a single and be like, cool, that's a dope track?
They have to be Swedish.
That's a hard question.
Because I want to get signed to size.
I think I signed, it started out with me just signing a single. It was called Release from Third Party 4 years ago. And then after that, they sent me maybe 6 or 7 demos. And I felt that they had something going on for them. They had something going, and I felt that I could help. And I saw where they were going, and I tried to just be a coach. And then, like any signing, you get interested and you get hungry and you see an opportunity in something and you want to help. And I think that's been the case with most of the guys, you know. But just send music, you know. I check out everything. I listen to every single demo that comes in.
Wow. All right, next.
Hi, my name is Gali. I work at ASCAP. Thank you all for being here. This question's for anybody. It seems like today you really, like, if you're going to be a DJ, you have to also be a producer. And if you want to just be a producer, you have to also be a DJ in order to be successful. But not everybody's good at both of those things. Some people just have a specialty. So what are anybody's thoughts on what that trend is doing to the scene and the future of
It's not
the
true as
music
far
being
as the
creative?
producer.
Sorry?
You can be a successful producer without being a DJ.
Right, but not so much in the dance scene. Like, you could be a rock producer, but you
I think it's also economy. You know, I think it's if you're a guy that wants to make money, you know, Beatport's not going to take you far. You know, you're not going to be able to support your family of Beatport sales unless you sell 20,000 records a week. So I think that's automatically you go into touring and go into the live thing.
Or you can ghost produce to a bunch of DJs.
Yeah, you could ghost produce, you know. But I think that's the natural step why you start touring.
I said it.
You could ghost produce.
Majority of the guys coming up are SoundCloud producers.
Yeah.
A lot of the majority of the kids coming up are producers who blew up online, and you're a popular producer, and now you can get paid $10,000 if you go play for an hour. Why not fucking go DJ? You know what I'm saying? It's like you come up and you blow up on the internet, and it's easy to go play a pre-recorded set. And these kids, you know, these college kids who are doing it, they got bills. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just a lot.
But I think that's also a problem.
Yeah. What?
Because that's also one of the problems with it. You know.
With what?
The financial perspective of it. Because, you know, I played like Carl. Sometimes I go off and I go and play for like 10 to 12 hours. And I go marathon sets and I play really low from 1 a.m. to noon. And not a lot of people can do that today just because of how the culture has evolved. Not a lot of people can go and do those kind of sets. And that's one part is that most of the guys aren't real DJs, you know. Most of the guys didn't grow up with vinyl or being resident DJ. When I was a resident DJ at the Ministry of Sound in the 90s, I opened a club and closed the club. You know, that's just the way it was. I was never booked to play 45 minutes on a main stage, you know. You went there and played your 8 hours and you went home, you know. So if you want to be a DJ, start DJing.
I like the sound of 8-hour sets as the CFO of the company. Next question.
Financially, it would make sense.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dionysus. I make music, I make software, and I make software that makes music. My question to you is about remixes. How do you feel when you find out that someone's made a remix and, I don't know, either you like it or you don't like it, but what's your initial response that someone took your material and did something with it? And then also, are you guys involved in some of the SoundCloud takedowns that have been happening?
Well, the label, usually the label or the artist, they asking for official remixes. It depends what we're speaking about, because there is the unofficial remixes that we call them bootlegs and stuff, where we're speaking about official remixes, because people want, like, if I made the song, I want to have the different flavors to the song. I don't want to make it by myself. I wanna listen to a deep house remix for my song, or I want to listen to dubstep remix to my song. It just depends on the artist. If we're speaking about official side of the things.
It's always awesome.
I love remixes, yeah.
It's awesome finding out remixes of your songs. Of
even some of them, like before you even release the song, there's like 20 trap remixes.
Yeah,
You're like, hell yeah,
there's
this song's gonna do
people
good.
remix like IDs nowadays. You know, it's like
they just download it from your EDC stand,
Zippy shares
make a trap remix.
But it's tight. It's tight hearing music that you make and you hear a different flavor. But I know for a fact that I've heard stories of like guys, like older DJs that have gotten their songs remixed. I'm not going to say the name, but I know somebody who made a trap remix of a guy of a very famous, one of the biggest dance records of all time, and the guy confronted them. You know, who remixed it, was like, why the fuck did you do that, like, without my permission? That's fucking whack as shit.
Remixes everyone should just do remixes,
exactly.
honestly.
I mean,
I don't get the whole takedown thing. What do you, like someone's promoting your song. Someone's putting your song on their SoundCloud, pushing your song. Why the fuck do you care?
Why not?
All right, we got another question.
Hello, Brian Hogg, software developer who's been listening to electronic music since the days of Impulse Tracker and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks guys for being here and doing what you do. The question's around the visibility, I guess, of people who are buying your tracks. Ryan Leslie at Actifan and DMM, his concept of creating a platform where they're buying from you directly and you get all that visibility to, I guess, connect with them one-on-one. Do you feel you need that, or do you think the connections you got over social media is enough?
I didn't get the question. What?
Repeat it.
Do you need direct-to-fan support, or is social media enough?
Social media runs the world, man.
Well, both things are good. Why not to have the both things?
Yeah, like basically on iTunes, you don't see who's bought your track. So it's more like, do you need to have that information? Or?
I mean, you can always find out.
I mean, if you're...
You just gotta go and talk to iTunes and talk to, or do what we did. We gave out the whole size catalog for free with Google Play. We gave out 10 years of music to anybody who wanted to download it. That gave us all the data to anybody who's ever downloaded a size song. So there's always ways to find out. I think if there's a way to make it easier for sales, yes, we all need that. Data is king. When you book a tour, if Mexico City has sold 60,000 downloads, you know that at least 20% of those would spend money to come to your shows. So yes, data is king.
Data is king. Yeah. Love that. Okay, we got time for one more question. Actually, we don't have time for one more question, but we're going to take one more question.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Breno. I just want to touch on something Carnage said about real people being the future. This is a question any one of you can take. If real people, can speak and be heard, or can real people speak and be heard if the corporate world is holding the mic?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%.
You just gotta make them fucking listen, man. I just started really working with a corporate side of the, industry and stuff. And if you before you step into that claw of the corporate side, the industry side, you gotta let them know what you really want. You can't walk in there not knowing what you're doing and not telling them what you want, because if you walk in there blindsided, you're gonna get smacked up. That's how I look at it.
But also too, I think if there was ever a time in music where the corporate side was running it, it's definitely not now. You know, 10, 15 years ago, corporate, they were running it, radio, everything was running it. Now we're running it ourselves. We don't need those people. I mean, they help, but you don't need it to get out there. Before, you couldn't do anything unless you were on the MTV and radio. That's why we're all here, because the corporate model's not really working anymore. And all of us random people have been able to get through in some weird way, you know, and I think in 2014, I don't really think that's an issue anymore.
Yeah, you have the internet.
Yeah.
I think it depends.
All right.
Good for all kinds of things.
Hey, let's hear a big round of applause for our artist panel: Steve Angello, Borgore, Carl Cox, Arty, Carnage, Destructo, and Posso. Everyone have a great weekend. EDMBiz Conference and Expo 2014. That's a wrap.